Looking for more juicy details after the reveal of Monster Hunter Wilds? Well, we've watched the trailer on repeat non-stop and have searched under every rock for small details that would give us hints on what we can expect from the actual gameplay in this next Monster Hunter game. So let's go through 20 things you may have missed, and you can let us know what you're hoping for in this next Monster Hunter Wilds game. The very first thing to point out in the trailer is all of the goodies that the hunter has while on the brand new mount. One of the more major and noticeable things that we can see is that the hunter looks to have a pouch that allows them to carry what seems like a light bowgun. Maybe this is hinting that we're able to quickly access two weapons via using our mount. But this isn't the only noticeable thing that the hunter is wearing, and it looks like Wilds is building on the features first introduced in World, as we can see the hunter has what looks like a slinger and scoutfly cage, hinting that maybe both of these will be making a return. On the mount itself, we can also see at the back there is a piece of wrapped up cloth that may be a tent, so we are speculating based on the title being Wilds and the game looking a lot more open that maybe this works more like a portable tent or camp that players can place in the open world to rest and recover, which would open up a lot of new gameplay possibilities. Something really cool that we found was discovered by Von Nevermore on Twitter. It shows concepts from the 10th anniversary book for Monster Hunter, and these images are very reminiscent of the mount and the gameplay in the Wilds trailer. This is because we can see a big bird-like creature being mounted by a hunter, and it really does look similar. Not only do we get to see the hunter using a cannon or light bowgun style weapon to capture creatures that kind of look like conchus, the device that the hunter is using to capture these conchus is very similar to the bug net that we had back in Monster Hunter World, and maybe this was the full intent behind the concept of capturing these creatures, so it will be really cool to see how they've evolved this system, as I loved the creature collecting in Monster Hunter World. There's also some additional images that show off the creature in more detail, and even gliding, which is something that we get to see later on in the trailer. It's super interesting to think that they had been sitting on this concept for literal years, just waiting for when it was right for them to actually implement it in a Monster Hunter game. This has just got to be the proper definition of letting it cook. Now let's skip over to the second promotional video that was uploaded on the official PlayStation YouTube channel, as the series director Ryozo mentions some details that you may have missed if you only watched the main trailer. This actually gives us hints into the overall direction of the game, so it's worth your while. While the Monster Hunter series is known for its ecology and ecosystems, Ryozo states that Monster Hunter Wilds will be on a completely new level of detailed creatures and ecosystems. In the trailer, it was highlighted that the development team will be using the PlayStation platform to its fullest, as this will not be a cross-gen title. However, it is worth pointing out that the in-engine trailer was actually captured on PC, which is great if you're a PC player and nice to see, because the game will be launching on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC at the same time, so PC players rejoice, you will not be left in the dust this time. But which platform are you planning on playing on? We really do get to see the ecosystems and creatures in action right from the beginning of the trailer. We get to see what looks like the female and male variants of an armadillo-like creature, with the male having massive spikes on its back, which seem to have a purpose that we'll talk about later. But it isn't just the armadillos doing their morning walk, as there's also endemic life perched on them, hopefully meaning that Capcom is building on that amazing system from World that was super enjoyable to go around and collect all of the rare monsters for your room. Alongside those creatures, we also got this great shot showing a variety of different sized passive creatures in the world. Wilds is looking to include these tiny Jaggy or Velociprey style creatures, which are a staple of Monster Hunter games, and the larger herbivore creatures too. There's also this unnamed flying boy that you can easily miss in the background, and maybe we can use these to get around if they function similar to how they did in World. The last creature that we want to highlight seeing is of course Gosharag's cousins. These new creatures look pretty vicious and actually chase the hunter throughout the trailer, while seemingly also running away from the oncoming storm. Within the gameplay, the hunter looks like they have the ability to lure the desert Gosharags into the herd, which the hunter can then quickly navigate through, but the big monsters become distracted and end up fighting some of the herd, allowing the hunter to slip away from danger. But a key part of the trailer is also the lightning lightning storm as it rolls over the area and suddenly changes the environment, making it super hostile as lightning strikes start popping off everywhere. The hunter and monsters are literally covered in dust from the storm, and as mentioned earlier, some of the creatures look to have interactions with this lightning storm, as the armadillos with the spikes kind of become conduits or lightning rods of their own, which we can see being an awesome gameplay mechanic. Perhaps this could be used in a battle against some of the proper monsters. For instance, maybe you need to get lightning to hit the monsters to yield certain drops, or perhaps it can be used to create stagger windows. We have a feeling that because the lightning storm and time of day is shown a lot in the trailer, that the weather could play a big part in the game, and so we're excited to see what Capcom can cook up with this. Towards the end of the trailer, the lightning storm then dissipates, revealing a scene with 3 awesome things that you might have missed. First is this large open scene, and people are speculating that this could mean that the game will be an open world. In a recent interview with Southeast Asia Yahoo, Ryozo mentioned that they are creating a new Monster Hunter game. The team selects something that will push them in interesting ways, but we will let the man himself tell you.
まずそうですね、モンスターハンターシリーズのとしてのプレッシャーというところは、正直ないわけではないですけど、先ほども言った通りに、自分たちがモンスターハンターとして次に何をするべきか、その何をするべきかっていうところに対して徹底的に追求していくっていうところが一番中心となってますので、そこに関しては正直プレッシャーというよりも自分たちがやらないといけないことをどうやって実現するかっていうところの方がやっぱ強いです。
This, coupled together with the fact that they were experimenting with mixing together larger open areas with the guiding lands back in World, makes us think that there is a strong possibility that it is an open world game, especially when you layer on top of that other titles with wilds in it have also been open world. But next, after the storm dissipates, it leaves behind a rush of wind that quickly breathes life into the surrounding area, bringing the foliage back to being green and lush, which is kind of like it's a breath of the wilds. Okay, that was pushing it. But lastly, my favorite thing that we need to see here is that our boy Rathalos is just chilling out there, almost like he's taunting us by saying, "New game, new me." The areas are looking bigger than anything we've got before in Monster Hunter, and because of this we need something to travel around on, and lucky for us we know that we have this mount creature, which is pretty cool. Something unique about the mount is that it has a sort of sprint mode that allows it to use all 4 legs to run faster, and it's able to jump up high using gemstone paths that can guide us to new areas, which opens up a bunch of options in the map. The last thing to point out is the logo itself. The first major thing is the heads of the dragon on the logo show that this is actually a Monster Hunter, or the next generation of Monster Hunter, as each generation iteration adds a new head to the logo to show this. Also, the logo seems to hint that the game is revolving around the circle of life and living ecosystems with numerous circles built into the logo. All in all, we're extremely excited for this next Monster Hunter game, but do tell us how you are feeling about it. And subscribe for more, because we will have more Monster Hunter Wilds content coming your way as soon as we can, and the information is there to talk about.